can stop you from being deceived. If you try to find out what's up my sleeve, you can figure out what a bag of means. If you try, nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived.
That's what's up. Everybody jumping in. What's good? What's good? Tennessee Trade Show jumped in, man. What's been going on at the shop this week as we get ready to get into it?
Busy,
man.
Bro. Busy. It's about that time. Well, you know, it picks up right after the slowdown. You know, everybody's starting to get back into the groove of things, get ready for some of the kids taking their breaks, and it seems like these kids out of school every week, so taking so
Man,
the kid traffic is picking up, and it's gonna hit real hard again because the kids got about a month left of school, maybe.
Yeah, not even a whole month.
It's gonna get dumb. Like for real, it's gonna get dumb.
Yeah.
That MLB trade, that's KG, man. You gonna bring him on so he can
yes, sir.
promote a little bit about the show, man, because
Absolutely.
MLB doing some big things, man. The original, okay? The original Barber Trade Show. So, yeah, man. I him come on real quick. And I saw your questions. Let me tell you something, bro. You have some absolutely phenomenal questions, bro. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the questions, man, because I think you bring up a lot of topics, man, that don't get discussed as much as they should within the barbering community. And it's just another one of them things that every time I think I seen the layers, you show me another layer. Like, nah, this bro really be thinking like outside the box, thinking like, why we don't discuss this enough? Why this? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited to get to those, man, and hear people say, especially once
absolutely.
My boy Suge get on here, because Suge, that's my dude. He don't even know it. He got a best friend in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He don't know it though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never met him in person, but that's my dude, bro. That's my dude.
Man, for real. I be following him, man. I got a cologne addiction. I be following him, and he ain't doing me no justice. I'm watching him, and he cologne crazy, and so he put me up on some different colognes.
Oh,
man. That should have had you going, bro.
Most definitely, especially depending on where you go to. You know, a lot of them colognes, man, you can get them out of Sephora. They be having them sale.
They had some, man, but like the stuff he put me on, like man, cologne. Man, this bottle's out there $1,500,
the mistake about a bottle of Creed when it came out. I haven't bought a bottle of cologne that expensive since. Even every time I spray it, it's like, this was dumb.
Man, his cologne collection, bro.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
But you know, that's one of his channels too.
Yeah,
that's his channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Kicks
and sense. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, let me pull KG on here, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you waiting, KG. Appreciate that, bro. K Jizzle. That's my dude too, man. It's my mentor, man. Yeah, this is my mentor. You see him with them glasses, with the doctor glasses on, man. That's my mentor right there.
What you said, doctor glasses?
Dr. K.
What's up, Oz? How you doing, bro? How y'all brothers doing? Man,
I'm good.
Man, I'm great,
I'm
man.
Good, man.
I'm great. I have no complaints.
That's what's up.
You know, just working this show, man. Trying to create a great event for some great people. Present some great exposure. Present a great platform, and that's mainly what all the Major League Barber brand and the trade shows are about. Bringing about people, man, to give vendors exposure, which is the small entrepreneur, the small business person, to put them on a platform where they're not known as a small business. They're known as just as equal or as effective as the big brands. A lot of times,
right.
you know, a lot of times, man, that can be a fear factor to a lot of people thinking, oh man, I got this brand, but you know, and I've seen people do it. They'll create like their beer products. You know, everybody in the grandmama do beer products. They'll create their beer products, but the issue comes about when they start moving around and taking their products into the different venues, different channels that they're trying to present their product to, and they kind of get knocked back because they can market, spend all this money marketing, and then you go to Walmart and you see, I'm just throw a brand out there. You see Cremo, and Cremo got 1,000, you know, different versions of an oil that nobody might not even know what it smells like, know if it's good or anything. It could be olive oil with a fragrance added onto it. But what are they going to buy? They're going to buy Cremo in Walmart, or are they going to buy KG's beard oil? Because KG is a good dude, but he keeps just bringing this oil in here and trying to sell it to me. And my oil is going to cost more than theirs because I'm smaller. I don't put out as much mass production as them. So that's the thing, man. Creating a big platform from a small location. I just say it like that.
Hold on, I gotta stop. Hold on. Hey, I thought that too. That Tennessee was a small location. Tennessee is an enormous market. Enormous market. Yes.
Yeah. Really.
People buy into the misconception that Tennessee is a smaller market because you don't hear about it. It's just like where you are, right? People can say that Champaign is a small market, right? But if you're in Champaign and you going out and you networking with people and you're creating the buzz in Champaign and you getting to rub the elbows with people who putting in the same amount of groundwork as you do, you'll find out quickly that Champaign is a thriving market. It's just not enough people are willing to bring it forward for other people to see it. Not enough people are willing to get people in Chicago and Indiana and Gary and Dalton and Riverdale to shop within that market. You know what I mean? They almost keep the market small. The thing that makes MLB stand out from that is, like you said, man, they're creating a big platform. Because let me just say this, man. Not enough people give the acknowledgement to MLB the way that they should. Okay? Let's just put that out there for the world to hear. Major League Barber Trade Show is the originator of the Barber Trade Show, bro. They put together a lot of the stuff you see a lot of shows doing. They got it from MLB. A lot of the stuff that MLB is doing, they're the originators of it. You know what I mean? Like they brought that to the world. And it's not a lot of shows, like me and you know, we experienced it for ourselves. It's not a lot of shows where you could come in as a small, probably not really buzzing provider of a service or provider of a product and get linked in with a show that's going to put you on a platform that they built over the span of years. They're going to put you on that platform and give you an opportunity to, you know, show up and put your product where your mouth at. Everybody said the product the best. But all right, come out here and get a booth. Come and network with these people. And whatever we need to do to make sure we can accommodate that happening for you, let's go ahead and do it. So you can get out here. Let's see how the people respond to what you have to offer. Bro, like I said, bro, I've been hooked ever since, bro. My first show, I was walking around with my daughter in a stroller, bro, and I was hooked since then, bro. I swear to God, bro.
Hey, no lie.
Yeah.
He was, man.
That's what's up.
That's when I first met Shy. We had heard of each other from a mutual friend. He was actually like learning how to be a barber in our mutual friend's shop, man, and he was getting his feet wet, you know, and but I seen his hunger. You know, one thing I would say, being an experienced barber over the years, man, what a Dane, my bad. But being an experienced barber, man, over the years, man, there's different levels of hunger in this industry. There's a agenda-driven hunger, and then there's hunger for the craft, hunger for the knowledge, the history. Like he wants to know where the term barber came from, barber. He wants to know why it was a Latin term, you know, a Latin term that defined our industry. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to just, hey man, how much money you make, man? Hey man, what's the most money you done made on a Saturday? Like when I hear that, believe me, it just makes me understand that that's all you worry about is money. So either you're gonna get tired of standing behind the chair, busting your tail, trying to make that money, or you're gonna get tired of the clients, the people coming in, servicing the people. Because if you money driven, people driven is gonna push you away. You know what I'm saying? The people will push you away, man. Like
facts.
No doubt.
You know, if you're having a bad day, you still have to be that. Now I'll say that when you're having a bad day, that lets people know how much you love your craft. Because to have a bad day and still have peace behind that chair and put out hot products when your client just heard you and your wife arguing, or you and somebody that you was doing business with having a disagreement, and they like, "Ooh, hey man, this is, hey, you know, they don't say it like we all cut hair over here, but you know, like your
when you turn them around, they don't even want to look you in the eyes. They be like,
like, hey, you know, they be like, "Hey man, you good?
You
then
straight,
you get this phone call. Yeah, hey, now I said, man, I didn't buy. And they like this.
Like,
you know what I mean? And it's like, you have to love, because you got to take that energy. As a barber, you have to realize, I put some bad energy out there that fast, that energy can affect this haircut. And not only just this haircut, it's a domino. If you start bad with this haircut and you and that client have a disagreement, what's following next? Your next appointment probably gonna come in about 10, 15 minutes later if they ain't not already there.
Oh, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Then if you're a client and you come in and the barber, your barber, and the previous client are having a disagreement, what are you thinking about? Oh man, who's in the right and who's in the wrong? I hope my barber is right, because that means my haircut's gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? But if my barber gets people frustrated, my haircut's gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, you gotta love it, you gotta want it, but you gotta understand what it is about barbering that you love. A lot of people say, man, I love this. What do you love? Do you love the fact that you don't have to clock into hit a time clock? You can go in when you feel like it. You can afford to buy the newest J's. The fact that you go in the club and everybody might know who you are because the DJ shouts out your name. If you're doing it for popularity, this is not the right popularity profession to be in. It's good to be popular barber, but you don't want to be popular as I'm putting myself out there like I'm the man, like I'm the GOAT. Everybody, I'm the GOAT. If that's the conversation every time you go somewhere, you gonna get, even you will get tired of that conversation after a while.
It ain't got no longevity to it, man. I remember you told me, man, we was at a show. I'm gonna say we was at a show. We wasn't at the trade show. We was at a show. This is kind of around my introduction to different shows, right? So he like, man, come on, if you enjoyed this show, you would like the shows. Come on, let's go to the next show with me. So I'm like, all right, okay, cool, whatever. Go to the show. And I'm seeing all these people that I recognize from social media. I'm like, yo, hey. Like, listen, bro. That's cool. This is all new to you. I want you to pay attention. Pay attention to the context of their character. And pay attention to their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What value are they offering this industry in addition to just being the name?
Right.
Nobody ever
being popular,
kind of put it out there. Like I said, I was still fresh in barber. So when I started looking at it that way, it changed my mind. Like, damn, I don't want to just be a popping barber, bro, because that's easy come, easy go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't popping barber into another popping barber come.
Yeah.
It's always somebody on their way up to where you are behind you. It's just it is business.
No doubt.
The guys that I see, like the KGs, you got to think. I'm gonna brag on you for a second. This dude, like, the personal barber to one of the biggest names to ever come through Tennessee. Multiple names to come through Tennessee. In addition to that, he's been in the room as like, hey, come to this situation with me, bro. This you met this guy as a barber, but your relationship extended beyond that, where somebody who can get in rooms that you probably can never get in by yourself is calling you like a friend. Hey, bro, we got such coming on. Won't you come through? I gotta believe that you're not getting that just from being a dope barber. You gotta be a dope human being, bro. You gotta be somebody that people want to be around. You gotta be somebody that people see value in addition to your ability to pick up clippers, right? So when he kind of put that on my mind, that's when I started to really fall in love with barbering, because I started to pay attention to what people was talking about. I started to pay attention to how people was coming to the shows. It's to the point now I could go to a show and I could figure you out in probably the first like 10 minutes of talking to you. I can figure you out. I'm already gonna have my pre-established assumptions of you just on how you presented yourself to the show. A lot of barbers, you know, they got this stigma. Barbers like to dress. Barbers like to dress. Barbers do like to dress, but we all know them barbers. We all done seen them that come and they just overdoing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then when you open your mouth and you start talking, you ain't 20 cents worth of value, you say. But then you see another guy come there, he got on jeans and some Vans and a t-shirt with his logo on it. You like, oh, okay, so he must just be starting out. You talk to him, and he give you $2 million worth of game. Yeah. I started paying attention to stuff like that, and it's like, man, I want to be that. I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that people associate my name with. Oh, he helped me with such and such and such. He told me about such and such and such. Oh yeah, you should link in with him. To me, that's laying down a legacy like what you done laid down. The legacy he done laid down, I see it with my own eyes, to the point where this dude can go to a show and his son can be at the show. And other grown barbers from other states are coming and speaking to his son. Think about that, bro. Your connection and your line of communication and networking then extended so far that people remember your kid. They come up and say, "What's going on, KJ? What's you good, man? You straight? You ate? You hungry? Come on, man. Let's go grab something to drink." You understand? You understand how deep it gotta be, bro? Where people from other states, other parts of the world coming because you've put out so much good energy to them that they returning it not just to you, but to they've extended it to you and your family. Yeah.
It is big, man. I never
great
looked at it like that, bro. And sometimes, man, I'll say this. Never take great relationships for granted. That's my one piece of advice for anybody on here. Never take for granted the great relationships that you have. You can't always be everywhere you want to be. You can't always, you know, you can't go to every single show because it's, you know, if you got family, you got kids, you got a life. You can't always be there. But cherish your great relationships in this industry and in life, but especially in this industry.
Hey, Suge, I see your request down there, bro. I promise you, we're gonna bring you on. You said you good at 8, right? Because I know you had some stuff you had to do. Go ahead, KJ. I'm sorry, bro.
Oh no, you good. But like I did it early in my career, man. You know, you get cocky, and I wasn't cocky, like I wasn't humble, but like sometimes you at the club or you somewhere at an event and you've reached this status and you come in and everybody speaking to you, you know, everybody, oh, you the man because everybody was able to get in your chair that day. You know what I'm saying? So you the greatest barber.
Right.
Everybody was able to get in the chair, you laced them up, they good.
Right.
Now we at the event, we at the spot. Hey, what's up? Hey, that's my barber right here. Hey, baby, this my dude. You know what I'm saying? He laced me up. You're all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But with all that,
Right.
I always remain humble and understanding that can quickly be gone. As soon as you got it,
Absolutely.
as soon as it can leave you, understand that. But with that being said, never not be grateful for those simple relationships, because sometimes, and I'm not talking about the agenda-driven relationships. You know, sometimes you don't know if it's agenda-driven, but you can kind of feel it because it's not genuine. Something that's a relationship should be genuine. Like we get on here and we just start talking. It should be genuine. It shouldn't be, oh, I got to get on here and I got to look a certain way. I got to say certain things to make everybody on here think like I'm the most intelligent barber alive. Because I want everybody on here to understand and know barbering has been around for centuries. You're not recreating the wheel. All you can do is try to find out, how can I make this a better industry with me being a part of it? You're not creating a wheel, but you're trying to make this industry be a better industry and you be a part of it. What's your role in helping this industry?
Right. Putting something in it. And
that brings up a good point, man. So the question, since you put it out there,
all right,
what is the role that the MLB is playing in investing back into this industry? What does that look like from your perspective?
The role that we play, the role that Major League Barber plays is trend setting. When you think you might, I got it. Hey, they doing it like this. Then here comes something else that only makes it better. It's like I said it like this, man. Brother Nori, man, he been making a cake. He been making this cake for years. He's had pretty much the same recipe. Cake been tasting great for years. Now he started adding different flavors. You know what I'm saying? You can start out as a pound cake. Now you got a lemon flavored pound cake, a sour cream flavored pound cake, a birthday cake flavored pound cake. And I say that because now Major League Barber started as the barber battles that started within the hair shows. Like at the big major shows, we used to have barber battles. During the show, have the floor covered. People like, yo, what's going on over there? Is it a fight? No, it's a battle. They got a hair battle. In a big convention center, 17,000 square foot venue, we're in the corner we're in a section having that barber battle. So people was like, yo, you see that barber battle? Yo, who did that? It was Major League Barber. As well as we were doing that, every single show, we were always having a class to educate. And so what Nori and the guys started seeing was, well, if we already pretty much doing a smaller version of the show within the show, let's start doing our own show. When he first jumped out, I think, man, we was doing like 25 shows all over the country. I'm talking about, but it wasn't big cities. So people were like, well, they wasn't in here. There was Chicago, it was Philly. A shout out to Philly Trade Show and the Midwest Trade Show. Congratulations to them. They're going on their 10th year anniversary for their shows. Those two shows are what started these shows really getting out here.
But that's all affiliated with the same company, right? That's all MLB.
All MLB.
So to ask you, bro, because that's unique to Major League Barbers. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that make MLB trade show as unique as it is, that people don't. I don't think a lot of people know, right? MLB is the only barber show that's all year long.
Yeah,
every year. It's multiple shows in multiple places all year long. If you didn't make the Tennessee show, you can make the Philly show. You can't make the Philly show, you can make the Niagara show. You can't make that Niagara show, you can
North Carolina.
Can't go to Chicago, you can go to Vegas. Can't go to Vegas,
go to North Carolina.
You can go. It's enormous.
So
yeah.
So I have a question. What's the origin? Like how did it all MLB? How did it all start?
The brand itself?
Just to have a little background.
Okay, so the brand itself started at two brothers in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They owned multiple shops. They were the name of their shops was called Wild Style. Shouts out to Wild Style because they still are irrelevant to this day. So they started. They started with the two brothers. They started out doing classes, doing the DVDs. They were doing DVDs, and then they started coming to like the big shows, the Broners, IBS, and they started doing a class. They would just have a class. They started selling their products within the class. The DVDs, finger razors. I don't know if y'all remember the finger razor. It used to be a razor you put on your thumb. We bring them back out. Finger razor. They sold T-shirts, finger razors. But how I even found out about them, it was a barber magazine that was covering Philly barbers. And I think I might have seen them in Ebony or something like that. It was just a story. And I was like, yo, they dope. So what I did, I went, and they were already moving around different cities before they learned to get into these shows. So they started out, they would have a class. Then they figured out, okay, let's add a battle. But within that, this dude, Dory, man, he is the Russell Simmons of barbering. The reason I say that, honestly, that's an enormous compliment, man. Yeah.
Yes.
But imagine this, bro. Right. You have a show. You have we're at Bronner's. You get a booth, a 20 by 20 on the corner in Bronner's as a barber company in Bronner's. Before they focused on barbering, you got 4 different entrepreneurs selling their own products at the booth. So already you put 4 people into a platform of power. You know what I'm saying? You gave them an opportunity to make money. And then they start doing the showcase. Why you do the showcase? We barbers. How do you let people see barbers work? Hey man, grab your clippers. You know what I'm saying? You on the showcase. It's a small fee for showcasing. But let's say the fee was $50. You got 20 barbers that paid you $50 to showcase. Think about what I'm saying. So now you selling your T-shirts, your finger razors, your hats, and your tutorial DVDs just from your brand. Up under that umbrella, you got four other entrepreneurs selling their brands. So right there, what did he do? He created a space, a platform, presented his product, sold his product, and let everybody else know about, hey, there's some hot talent in these different cities that came to Atlanta or came to this show to let y'all know it's some hot talent everywhere else. With that being said, you get emails, you start communicating and start seeing that people are coming to particular shows just to come to your class, just to get your tutorial videos. Now, guess what? Hey, man, my brand kind of hot. I think I can go out, spread my wings, and let me try out with a small venue. Because a lot of people, they want to jump big. Hey, man, I want to be big. It's cool to be big, but to go big, you got to have a lot of foot soldiers to go big. So if you don't have that many foot soldiers, you got to start small. So they started small, and it became
doubt.
a disease, man. It became an educational disease. People wanted to catch the wave, man. We started having fun. I mean, like, you go back and look at some of the old footage, some of the old, just if you even remember, we was doing giveaways. We got to do it on the microphone, rocking the mic. Yo, throw your L's in the air. We throwing up L's for love, for barber love. People like, yo, that's a gang sign. No, the gang sign is we are barbers. We love each other. We're showing barber love. And then the platform became, hey man, I know where within the show within the show we can go to as barbers. You know what I'm saying? And like I've been at Bronner's where they had Barbers Row, where they just had all the barbers in one section.
Hey, they getting right there again.
They going back to it. And the reason they going back to it is because they never figured out, or maybe they didn't contact the right people to figure out how to really spread that wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because the barber's wealth is great. But as barbers, we have to make it be professionally great as well. And a lot of us
understand the wheel that squeaked the loudest gets the oil.
Yes.
When you go to a show as big as Bronner, unfortunately, the wheel of barbering isn't squeaking as loud as the wheel of cosmetology.
Yeah.
That's why we get put off to the corner back there by the food vendors on the empty side of every Bronner show. If you go to every Bronner show, the barbers are always off in the back. They might have Wall or Anders in the front, but you want to find an independent barber that got a booth at that show, they way off in the back. Way in the back. And let's take responsibility too. I don't know how many of them barbers that's coming to purchase them booths are just waiting to the last minute, because that happens too.
Most definitely. And I will say that. You're right about this, shot. That's that right there. And I will say this. Barbers. Literally. Shout out to my man Bobby Ball. But literally, we have to quit being cheap. And what I mean by being cheap on your investment.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Right.
Shy made an investment into himself that's going to resonate within the next month. It's going to take him from here to here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bad thing is, guess what? When he's just in general conversation telling a few people how much he invested in himself. Woo! God, real, bro.
Crazy, bro. Tripping, bro.
Hey, man, like, now what are you going to learn? Hey, learn this. If you have to invest $5,000 to make $500,000, is it worth it? Thank you.
But the thing is, most people don't believe, most barbers, they don't believe that they can make 500,000.
You're right.
So they're not going to put into it because they don't believe that they can make good on their investment.
That's true.
And if you don't believe in yourself, like it's so much ego, but ego is not belief. That's the problem in the barber industry. Just because you got a big ego, you can talk real big, but you know, that's the saying, go and put your money where your mouth is. My thing is, if I pay thousands of dollars for a class, I gotta make that money back. Right. But the problem is, most people, they'll buy a class and then not put the work in, and they only take them one time to do that, and then they blame the teacher. Then they blame the industry. They blame everybody except the fact that you took a 30-day challenge and did 2 days of the 30-day challenge. You say it don't work. It didn't work.
Right.
Oh, well, I made a video at the beginning and you gotta say, hey, don't you buy none of the class because you didn't finish the last one that you did. Don't take no more classes.
So,
you ain't of the dang on challenge because you did the second day of the challenge and you weren't aware of the person that made you or got you to take the challenge is. Not understanding it took them years to get where they was.
Nice.
How do I know it took them years to get where they was? Because they taught a class on where they are. And you don't teach classes.
And a lot of people, they attempt to purchase success. You can't purchase success.
They won't take
it. Doesn't exist. It's not people. Barbers do it every week. Somebody go out here and buy the latest greatest clippers, and they're thinking that they're purchasing innate ability to cut hair better. It's like that.
I think it's worse than that. They ain't even purchasing success. They're trying to purpose friendship. They're trying to purchase influence. So they want to take, I ain't going to say people's names, but they want to take this class because they think if I take this class from this person, it's going to make me successful because I took the class from that person.
No. Yeah.
Just like you were saying in the beginning. The dude with a T-shirt on, and don't judge about how the person look. Because I learned a long time ago when I go to the Brenner Brothers show, don't talk to the dudes that the popular barber. It's not don't talk to them. But the person you really want to talk to is that little guy of a different race who's standing out in the middle just watching. He's the owner of the booth.
Yes.
He's the owner of the booth. Mm-hmm. He's the one with all the connections. Yeah. Not the person that's the face on the person. When it comes to celebrities, the celebrity is not the person you want to get in contact with. It's the manager or the assistant. That's
or
everybody.
Or the agent.
Yeah. Or the agent,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the person who the person who they tell you to contact to get in touch with them is the person that knows everybody. That's the person that goes to them and says, "This who's gonna cut your hair," and they're gonna say, "Yeah, okay, cool."
Yeah.
I learned the hard way, man. That
they're doing the footwork.
Aren't done over text message, man.
No.
When you orchestrate real business, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be contacted by an assistant.
Yeah.
You're gonna be contacted by that assistant via email.
Yeah. Or you might get a phone call. But like you said though, you're only getting and that's for anybody on here. We'll give you a little quick class of how it goes. The assistant manager is gonna contact you. If the conversation gets serious enough for the person to call you or want to set up a meeting with you, now we got some substance.
Yeah.
And that's not just in barbering, that's in business.
Absolutely.
Like if you want to go on Shark Tank's assistants are going to email you and contact you. Mm-hmm. But until Simon and the rest of the guys like, hey, yo, or, Mark Cuban say, hey, that's a hot product. Mm-hmm. Hey, somebody get in contact with his people, and we're going to bring them on.
You got to go through a bunch of people just to make it to the TV room.
Right. Not even to the TV room. You have to go through a bunch of people to even get your opportunity to get to anywhere. Because understand that just because you talk to the assistant manager, the manager, and now they want to talk to you, that isn't your foot in the door.
No.
That's your opportunity to put your foot in your mouth.
Right.
Now you got to come and sit at that table and have something to talk about. You got to be able to conduct yourself in a room full of professionals who don't give a flip.
Yeah.
It's all about
who you are, where you're from, what you've accomplished. They don't care about none of that. What's the bottom line? How can you take this from this to this using your platform, your ability, your capabilities? Go. What do you have?
Yeah, that's it. What do you have? And a lot of times, man, a lot of times we ain't ready for the opportunity because we think the opportunity is I got in the green room. No. The opportunity is, guess what? You need to know what to say properly once you meet the person who you really came to talk to.
Exactly.
You gotta have a strategy.
What you need to do is ask how many great actors, right? Ask them how many jobs they've gotten, hired, did the gig, read the lines, played the part. It gets to the cutting room floor and they ain't even in the movie.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
It happens.
The thing is,
Barbers, you just sat down and had a conversation, a business casual conversation about a great opportunity, and you've talked for days about it, and then it just gone, fairy dust.
Whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people they let that discourage them.
No.
But once the person, you never hear about the cutting room floor. You never hear about the auditions that they didn't make. You never hear about the person that they didn't cut until they get successful to a certain point. Then they tell the story. I learned this lesson from Marcus Harvey himself. Right. I got mad about a situation. I was trying to teach a class, and people kept inboxing me. They want to learn. All right, cool. Put the class out. Nobody registered. I said I ain't teaching no more classes to none of it. I went off on my little stories. I put up one story, and he said, hold on, this was some years ago. Right. He said, hey, save that for later on down the line. Don't tell that story right now. He said, delete that post and shut up. All right, big bro. I listen. Because eventually, if you keep grinding, somebody's going to want to hear what you got to say. Don't nobody want to hear what you got to say until
Right.
they ask you.
Right.
So there's a lesson in learning how to shut up, or learning when to talk and when not to talk. When to talk when you ask, and when to let it out for yourself. And that take patience. It take lessons. It take taking L's. Like, it's a big lesson in taking an L. And I'm like, until you've taken a major L in any industry, you don't know whether or not you really want to do it. Because when you take that L, if it's the right L, you're going to want to quit.
You don't know
you want to be like, F this.
Yeah, you don't even know if you ready, you built for this until you took some. Like you said, man, nobody tells you the horror stories until after they conquered the success. It's uphill, man. But let me answer this question right quick. Well, everybody answer this question. We got Mo_Barber83. You've been waiting for a minute. We really, really appreciate your brother. Question was, what's the best city to move to as a barber? And y'all opinion.
The city you in.
The city you in, right? Yes, sir.
I'll tell you, the only reason I say the city you in, understand this. I'm glad you asked that question. Know the value of barbers. Know the value of yourself. As a barber, you can pick up and take your clippers and take your skill set anywhere. If you don't believe me, go on TikTok, go on a social media platform, and Google a country 6,000 miles on the other side of the world, and find out how many barbers you see cutting hair with knives, machetes. You know what I'm saying?
Done. Crispy.
A razor and a comb.
Right.
Guess what though? He's still producing a fade. Chiseling. Still producing a fade. Still getting the results. It might take him longer, but we don't know because we're not able to see it. So in America, guess what? We be like, oh man, that's crazy. I would never do that. But if that took 15 minutes to do what he did, you probably would consider doing it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, understand, you are your value as a barber. So the city you're in is the best city you need to be in.
I do want to add an addendum to that, because I don't know what position that person is in. Because sometimes you reach a point in your career where you know where you are is not where you're supposed to be anymore.
Right.
So my answer is the best city to cut hair in is where you're supposed to be. And it's, y'all know me, I get real spiritual. It's just me. If you in a place you know you ain't supposed to be in, ain't gonna be no success there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why that whole scripture says the latter shall be greater. Before that, they talked about how there was a temple, and it was cool. He was blessing that temple, but he said, I've moved, and y'all still there. If whatever it is you believe in, if it's moved, your success ain't there no more. You need to make a move. And that don't mean that the move ain't going to be scary. That don't mean it ain't going to be hard. But if you where you I just had to leave a place because it was time to go. Not because it went bad, not because we got into it. No, it was just time to go. That's enough. God said it's time to go, so I left. You know
hey, bro. Hey, you know the sad thing about that, and I'll say culturally the sad thing about that, you said I left a place because it was time, because I was at a place where you got limited and you needed to grow, spread your wings and go outside. But guess what people will say? Hey man, tell me for real, what happened? Nothing. My people, black cultured people, African Americans, if I leave a barbershop, I work at Studio 312. If I leave 312 today, me and Shy did not get into it. I'm doing it for a purpose, for a KG, not cause if it is me and Shy got into it, guess what? That's probably because I did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, two grown men, whether you have your differences or not, y'all still can see the same vision.
And so as people, we got to learn how to put that trauma down.
That drama.
It
ain't trauma, it's just drama.
We can't keep using that excuse that we came from trauma, or I'm just used to it being in all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I feel like you just said, man, as a human adult, if you can't have a conversation with opposing opinions, then remove the adult part of that human. That's just my opinion. With anybody, any color, any reason, anything. And like KG said, man,
Right.
if the decision for you to move and do what you need to do to be where you need to be for you is the decision you making, tell them Shy told you to tell them this. You don't owe nobody no fucking explanation.
Nope.
You moving for how you need to move. And I wouldn't expect anything less from nobody.
Right.
I was just having this conversation with Easy next door. He was like, man, what do you do when somebody you love, and in this case, something you love, isn't loving you back? What do you do? What do you do in that situation? How do you walk away? Do you stay? What do you do? And I told him, Easy, honestly, I don't know your situation. The best advice I can give you from the generalized question you asked me was you have to decide, is it causing me more hurt or is it healing me to stay attached to whatever that thing is? No matter what it is, who it is, why it is. You love your city. You putting in all your effort in your city. You feel like you've worked and you've grind to build up your reputation as a representable barber for this industry in your city. And for whatever reason, your city isn't showing you that same love. It might be time to detach. It might be time to go ahead and move on somewhere that appreciate that effort that you're putting in.
Yeah. It's real.
To me,
For real.
Yeah.
getting up out of here, River.
Hey,
I ain't mad at y'all.
Yeah.
But
Because I ain't gonna lie, man. I tell anybody, man, I worked in a toxic relationship barbershop, meaning like where people are become envious of you over your success. Not nothing that you really do, you know what I'm saying, as far as your personality. But when you're in that, it's so dreadful because you feel it, your clients feel it, other people's clients feel it. It's like, if you ever been in a shop and two barbers had tension and you can feel the tension, everybody, hey, bro.
You cut it with a
man,
knife.
It's because it's uncomfortable not to those two barbers. It's uncomfortable to everybody else. Because, like, okay, me and Oz, we into it. Shy, you come in, you feel it. You like, hey, well, like, what's up, Oz? Hey, KG. God, dog, I don't know who I want to talk to more. Cause both of them, you know.
I learned how to be the what's the name in the room, bro. KG will tell you, bro. It's just my personality. If there's some tension, I'm god damn.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all got going on in here, man.
Y'all messing up my vibe.
Let's talk, bro. Because I already got 6 kids lined up for the day. I'm stressed before I started. We ain't gonna add. We're gonna have to talk. Come on. Or if I'm going through something, I just talk to somebody. I don't get to talk to Suge as much as I want to, bro. But I was telling Ash before both of y'all jumped on, Suge, you don't know how much you done helped me through just by watching your content, my boy. Yeah.
He like, man.
You be dropping some bad. I be on my way home from the gym, then tried to work my problems out on the weights. It ain't working, right? And I'm scrolling, and I look at the video, because every time I see the beard, I stop. If I see that chair, he finna lay the outfit out, I'm stopping, because I know I want to see what he finna lay out. Right?
Man, I appreciate it. Because I don't be thinking nobody paying attention to me, dog.
He say something, I'll be like, you goddamn right. I'm tripping, bro. I get the go cut. Man, let me go and get to the crib, get dressed. I'm finna put on some nice clothes. I'm gonna leave all this drama here. Yeah. I'm finna go create a new reality for myself when I get to the shop.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta have people like that, bro. KG is my in-person person like that. When I come in this shop, he a Pisces, I'm a Pisces. So I can't come in here and be down and he not feeling. He can't come in here and be down and I not feeling. Like crazy. It's almost like, shit. Hey, you want some?
Who we gotta go with? Hey.
That's just like what?
I'll be like, hey, do I gotta put the black Air Force Ones on? It's time up.
Like, where your energy at, bro?
Hey, I'm just saying, like that's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like that. It's crazy because before I moved in the shop, we already had a relationship as barber bro. But once I got in there, I'm like, bro, you a Pisces for real? and it will be like little things like we might say something at the same time, and I'm like, boy, hey, get out my head, dude. He's like, dude, I was just thinking like that.
Hey, you ain't even got to say nothing. Somebody could walk through that door, man, and be on the same page, like.
I did that saying when y'all in church, y'all can't look at each other. We ain't got to tell.
We can't even sit on the same side, bro.
Hey,
I'm sitting in the back.
Stop looking at me.
Hey.
But that same reason is the reason why I just left the private suite. I just came out of the private suite and went to the shop because I said I love being in the suite because I was able to cultivate super personal and super vulnerable conversations on purpose with my clients. Mm-hmm. But if this stops here, I'll fail. Because I need more people to join in on these conversations because I don't have all the knowledge. I'm knowledgeable, but I don't have it all. And maybe this dude sitting right here, because everybody here hustling in the shop. Well, maybe this dude right here, over here, what we talking about, and he actually relates to this guy in my chair a little bit more than I do, and I'm trying my best to relate to him. So I was like, I need to get out. I need to go back into the shop. I need to be around other barbers and other people and experience that again. Because believe it or not, in my 10 years being a barber, the first I cut in the shop the first year I cut, and then went to Texas, went from Alabama to Texas with school, did all of that, and I would like go to a shop every now and then. But I was in school. When I came home, I've been in salons. I've never actually worked at a barbershop here at home in Detroit until now. Because once I came out of school, I was already thinking, man, when I came out of school, I was in the suite because I was doing units already. I was doing units before I even went to school. So I was like, I need that privacy. That turned into a conversation being different. And I love that part because it made me have something like I already know. Well, man, why people go to Suge? Yeah, I'll do a dope cut. Am I the best barber? I don't know. I don't care to be the best barber. It's too much involved in trying to be the best barber. I'm pretty sure there's a better fade or a better line out there somewhere. But when people leave me and they come back, they say one thing. Man, what happened, man? Because I don't mind you leaving because I can't cut everybody. I don't own you. You can go to whoever you want to go to. The only thing I require is for you to pay me when you're in my chair. As long as you do that, we square. But when they leave for whatever reason, when they come back, they all say the same thing. Well, what happened with the barber you was going to, man? It looked like your cuts was cold. Man, yeah, but man, they just not you. Oh,
right.
They ain't got my heart. They don't. When you sit in my chair, because I pray for you. I know you. I pay attention. We've had a different type of conversation. As soon as you sit down, when you shake my hand, what's going on? No, come on, man. Don't do me like that. What's up? What's the deal? Well, man, such and such, and then they just start pouring. Now I activate because that's my actual power. I tell people all the time, my gift is talking to people. I cut hair so I can talk to people. That's the whole thing. I just like to talk to people. I love music. I probably should have majored in psychology. But hey, whatever. So, and I wanted to say one thing. I see there's a question up here. What thing about working?
Tell them that question. Everything you was just saying is for them. That's that question.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Then, well, I want to say this though, just going back to something we said earlier, and I don't know if it's just a black people thing, but I'm black, so I know what black folk go through. When it comes to this was, and I've been saying this for a long time. We really got to get off of this, and I'm gonna say this in a vivid manner. Stop thinking that you can only do business with people you fuck with. Excuse me.
Woo! Hey,
get off that mess. Hey. We the only race that be
Hey. I ain't never heard that come out your mouth.
I'm missing all that. And I don't believe it's a scene. So, but we can talk about that another day. But stop thinking that you can only do business with people you like. We talk about making money and doing something. Do the business, make your money, do your paperwork, and go somewhere. You ain't got to have coffee and drinks with them. Absolutely. Just do the business and go somewhere. Y'all stop with that mess, man. I think that's the thing when it comes, because when I go to any trade show, any Brunner Brothers premiere, any show I've ever been to, I see white folk together, the Latinos together, especially the ones in Florida. Everybody else besides us, they rolling together, and I'm pretty sure there's some problems in that camp, but we ain't hearing about them problems at that show. They mobbing together. We the only ones walking around. There might be two of us tops. We the only ones walking around sizing each other up. to see
Me
who
mugging.
is the best. Mean mug,
Absolutely.
what you do. And then when you introduce yourself, it's like everybody got to run down their accomplishment list
Accolades.
to each other. Man, you know, I do this and I do that. Yeah, man. Well, no, I used to use this and I used to. And I'm like, do y'all understand them dudes at the top that y'all want to talk to? They are literally the Kenny Duncans, the DLs. Them dudes are their think tanks. They get together and they talk about the next thing they're gonna do, and we don't even know that they talking to each other, and they all doing something that's gonna circle around in X amount of years, and they planned it like that because they cool with each other's success.
Right.
I love to be around people that's strong.
Absolutely.
I love to be around other barber stylists that's strong and confident in what they. I love it because if I'm lacking, I'm gonna be like, well, man, look, I see you do well with this. I don't. What is it that you do that I don't? And then don't think every time somebody come and ask you a question about something, like at this point, I don't really care to post haircuts that much no more. I really don't. I'm like, if you want to know if I can cut hair, scroll back. It's a bunch of years worth of dope haircuts on that page.
I was just talking
I want to talk to you
about
as a
that.
person. I want to create. You see, you know, my setup. I want to create. I found my niche as far as the content thing, and I finally got to the point where I stopped caring about how many people was following me.
Man.
Because that algorithm is some bullcrap. I might not ever get to 10,000 followers, and that's fine. But when people like you say, man, I watch every time, I don't know, because 9 times out of 10, the people who are really watching you, they not saying nothing. So I don't know who I'm impacting. I'm just hoping to God that what I'm saying is impacting this person, because I'm trying to have the conversation on camera that we have in the shop. You ain't talking to your client for the most part. In that 30 minutes to an hour that you're cutting their hair, you're not talking that much about hair. You're talking about life. You're talking about business. You're talking about family. That's what I want to talk about on this camera. Exactly.
Everything
I
but
can't
hair.
wait for the day when I go to a show and they got a barber, they got a room where the symposium is on how to effectively run your family and be a busy barber.
Hey, thank you.
I want to talk about that.
Hey,
you know, I want to talk about
I'm gonna take that. Hey,
like we finally got to the point where we're talking about finance.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Like Dante Financial was the first person I've seen like actively doing that, and he's still doing it, and I love him for it. There's a lot of barbers talking about it, but those other, how do you do when you got a person sitting in your chair that this person is of a different lifestyle, that's uncomfortable, it's different for everybody else in the shop, and they talking about your client? How do you handle that?
Woo!
Because my first instinct is defend your client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what happens is if you got to leave that shop because the other barbers or stylists in that shop are not conducive to your clientele, guess who's going to figure that out, and they're going to follow you anywhere you go.
It starts
client.
before that, though.
Clients, absolutely.
Before that, it starts with what energy are you putting out to those other barbers in that shop before that client?
They feel comfortable with doing it.
That has to be priority number one. If your energy says that your clients can be attacked, people will attack them. But if your energy says these are more than my clients, these are my friends, these are my people, they're gonna treat it like that shit. Every client that's sitting in your chair should be viewed as your family member. Yeah. You wouldn't disrespect my kids. You wouldn't disrespect my wife. You wouldn't disrespect my brother. Don't disrespect my client.
My client.
Exactly.
But
absolutely.
On that, I want you to jump into them questions, bro, because he rolled you right into them. Get them questions.
Absolutely. So one of the things as Suge just talked about, a lot of things that we don't talk about, and with you, you know, being part of the MLB and doing your thing in Tennessee. One question I had that I haven't had a lot of feedback, you know, in terms of shows or trade shows, and wanted to just get all y'all feedback and anybody that's listening to us. Do you think, KG, or just all y'all, that health and retirement options should be a bigger topic in barber shows? Because I'm listening to so many of these barbers talk about $100 haircuts and doing this and doing that, but just at its basic level, everybody here has a family. You know what I'm saying? We all have children, right? And so just at its basic level, being able to take care of yourself on an everyday, and people don't realize, you know, I had an issue, and I'm kind of wavering back and forth right before we got on here. it was a dude in town talking about he called everybody, he hit every barbershop, need emergency cut 200, and didn't nobody, get him in, and he'll never go to another barber here and unless he owned the shop. And then one dude said, well, ain't no barber worth $100 in the town, and I mean none. So, I got my feelings, not that it's about being worth $100, but being appreciated for what we do, right? But at the end of the day, we put a lot of hours in. Our backs hurt, our feet hurt. Me personally, I have trigger finger in one of my thumbs, so I get shots in my thumb. So all the things that go with that, going to the doctor, that's a heavy bill. So if you don't have insurance, you know what I mean, that can wear thin on you. It can also knock your credit down and do a lot of things that don't allow you, to live that stable life and provide a decent home for your family and things of that nature. And then when it's all over with and we're not behind the chair, being able to have some funds and do some things, you don't 100%, depend on retirement, but just having those options. Should that be more? Because I hear about the $100 haircuts, but I've seen people that make $50,000 that save more money than somebody that makes $120,000 a year. So for me, I don't even get wrapped up into the, $100 haircuts, because at the end of the day, you can make all the money you want to, but if you got on all the J's and the Gucci belts and this and that, then what did you do with that them six figures that you're making? So I just want to get you guys' feedback on the health and retirement options.
All right. I'll say this from a show standpoint, and it's amazing that you asked that question. I'm so glad you asked that question. It's slick. Shy had to tell you to ask that question. Hey, I know he did. I know he did. But did not say that. Last year at the show, we had the Confess Project. I don't know if everybody's familiar with the Confess Project. Okay, so the Confess Project, my man Darnell, he's based out of Arkansas. Him and a group of guys, shout out to my guys, Craig Charles, my dude Michael Taylor, my dude Ambi. All these dudes came together, but Darnell had the vision. It's called Barber Advocates for Mental Health. They go around and they teach. They go around the barbershops, schools. They've even been at the show. And when we had them at the show, they had 5 people. No, 3.5 people. And I say 3.5 because it was a guy that kept going in and out the class. They had 3.5 people at the class. The reason I felt like the class wasn't a success as far as attendance is at the time that we had it. It was in the afternoon, right before competitions. And the reason I say that, everybody on here been to the show, in between when education is kind of slowing down and they're getting ready for competitions, there's this gray area. And a lot of people are leaving. That's when people who only came to get education are leaving because they came and got what they wanted. And people who are coming for the thrills, the lights, and the glamour, they come into the show. So in the midst of that, a lot of that gray area leaves so much room for people to miss something of substance is being taught. And that's what happened last year. We're bringing them back again. They're not out there on the flyer, but we're bringing them back again. Anytime that I do a show in Tennessee, I'm going to request for them to be there. Reason being, what they teach you is the importance of mental health for your own person.
Big time.
Second, they teach you the importance of mental health and recognizing it through a client, through a customer, or even a fellow barber. Me and Shai just had this discussion about a young man that was in barber school with him that he's no longer living.
Yeah, he talked about last
He had so many demons on him that I didn't meet him personally, but from everybody that I talked about that had love for him, that knew him, that met him, he had an impact, but they were able to see his dark side. You understand what I'm saying? With that being said, if I can see your dark side as I walk up on you, and Suge can contest to this because you speaking up about Christianity and knowing God, If I can walk up on you and I can see them demons, brother, my thing is I need to help you. I need to try to find help for you. If I can't personally do it, I need to find help for you. And I don't need to find help like I introduce you to this counselor and I leave you like, hey, you my child, I'm leaving you at a daycare. No, I need to call you and say, hey, bro, you good? Was that therapist I introduced you to? Was it good for you? Are you benefiting? You know what I'm saying? And it's not always the benefit as the next time I see you, me and you have a great conversation and I can see it. I need to ask because guess what? We put so much into people. Sometimes people don't put nothing into us. So if I give you, imagine you the sun, you give out all your sunshine, you give out all your rain. You never got the moon to help you rejuvenate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what happened? You're gonna disintegrate. You're gonna disappear. Cause once everybody had a phone, everybody got a phone. Once you run the battery out on the phone, what it do? Shut off, right? Until you put it back on the plug, it's just a dead device laying right beside you or wherever you leave. So that's the same with your life. That's the same with your mental health. It's the same with your health. You're right. We do need to implement it even more. But as Suge said, we started with the finances because we seen there's so many of us still to this day that financial literacy is not there. First of all, we want to be respected as professionals, as a business. You got to start acting like a business. And I'm speaking from me personally. You know what I'm saying? I had to. It's not just rebranding yourself. It's growing yourself as a man, as a business person. Because if you're not good here, you can't be good here for nobody. So if you ain't good here, you're gonna be bad here. You're gonna be bad. You're gonna give bad to your family. You're gonna give bad to your clients. And after a while, guess what? Your family always love you and stick around. But them clients, they gonna roll. And I ain't saying all the time because even your family get tired of your mess. But you know what I'm saying? It comes a point though, like in if you can't stand behind the chair to make money, how you gonna make money? If you're a barber and standing behind the chair is the way you make money, if you're not able to physically stand behind the chair to make money, how are you gonna make money? Because man, I'll tell you this, man, 3 years ago, I ain't gonna say the guy's name, man. I seen a dude that he was looking gray, bro. What I mean by he was looking gray, he was suffering from kidney failure, organs shutting down. I'm talking about a dude that used to be like almost 280 pounds, look like Ricky Smiley, man. You know what I'm saying? Like now ain't Ricky Smiley, like Flavor Flav with the clock on. You know what I'm saying? And to see that, and the last time I seen him, he was living a good life. But to see the next time I see you, man, look like the next time I see you, you was gonna be in a box. You know what I'm saying? That right there, man. If you say you care about somebody, that's how you can care about somebody. If you call somebody a fellow barber bro, barber sis, my brother, any of that, reach out. You can text message, you can FaceTime, you can do we have so many ways to communicate. Don't tell me you ain't got time, because you got time to look at TikTok for 30 minutes. You got time to say, you got time to take 2 minutes out your day to say, hey, bro, I ain't even want nothing. I just want to tell you I love you. Hey, man, I was thinking about you. I don't know if you're having a great day or not. If you are, continue on. If you're not, hey, man, give it to God and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all somebody needs to hear, bro.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, what I'm hearing, like, when it comes to those type of situations, that word vulnerability is very big to me, because now it's not enough of us that are willing to be it, because it's become a thing it's become a negative term. It's like saying you emotional or you sensitive. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with being emotional. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive. I have self-admitted on camera plenty of times, I'm an emotional man. being emotional as a human being, period, is not bad unless you cannot control your emotions.
Absolutely.
But to be able to control your emotions, you got to be able to admit that you have emotions other than anger and happiness. Because anger is not an emotion, in my personal opinion. Anger is a result of an emotion. It's a reaction. It's a reaction to an emotion, better yet. Because the real reason why you're angry is because, and most people don't, it's easier to just be angry. It's easier to just be a hammer to a nail than to build a structure and figure out where the nail needs to go and which type of hammer needs to beat this nail in. So I think 2 words is the biggest lie that most black men tell. I'm okay.
Ooh, I'm good.
It's the biggest, I'm good, I'm all right. Them 2-word answers is the biggest truth a black man can tell is I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Man, I need help. It's like 3-word answers are the ones that are like, it's the truth. And that opens the door to you being able to be like, well, what's going on, man? Talk to me. Tell me the truth. It's all right. I ain't nobody gonna judge you, whatever. And that's a whole nother conversation that probably ain't for this podcast tonight. But even when it comes to financial stability and retirement and stuff like that, the problem is so many of us, we get so addicted to the money and the money coming so fast and we've never experienced, some of us, a level of success like that, especially once you get to the point where your haircut is above a certain price and you getting it consistently. We don't understand that success comes in seasons. So that downtime is coming. Me and my father talked about it. He was like, look, man, he's in the HVAC business. Me and him relate a lot because we're both in businesses that people always coming for. You always gonna need air, you always gonna need plumbing, you always gonna need your haircut or whatever. But he says, man, look, when I'm having an up time, that's when I hold on to the most money. I said, why you say that? He said, because I know the downtime is coming. So I hold on to more when everything is good. So when the downtime is coming, my life cycle doesn't change because I got the money saved up. Saving is a hard thing to do because that word want. We want stuff. Y'all know me. I love shoes. I love clothes. I love fashion, taking to those things. But I have to understand that
you love fragrance.
Got a new one today. But I also have to say, all right, hey, don't buy nothing. I have to do this to myself. It's self-control. I can't. It's too much to put on my wife to control me all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's too much and vice versa. I have to be able to say, I can't do this right now. Yes, the money is in the account, but I have to tell myself, no, I can't spend that money. Well, or the money needs to go here and not there. You know what I'm saying? Making responsible decisions, but you have to research those things. You got to be willing to study that type of stuff, as well as studying yourself when it comes to your emotional stability, to understand, hey, I'm not okay right now, and I need to be able to say to your significant other, your homies, hey, y'all, I need some help. If you don't know how to help me, can you tell me where I could go? Like, somebody got to be able to help me. But the first thing you got to be able to do is admit that you need some help and that you all right. Like, one of the best things I could have did, y'all know my journey from last year to this year. Last year around this time, if I was on this camera, I was 360 pounds. Last year at this time. And I felt all right about myself. I was still fashionable and all of that. Now, my knees was hurting and my back was hurting. And, sleeping wasn't, the way it was supposed to be. And I ain't always been a big person, but one of the best decisions I could have ever made was to lose weight. Because it gave me another level of self-control on all levels, not just physically or whatever. My reason, and I'm so glad that 2020 taught me to document, film it, even if you don't know what to do with it right now. I found a video of a memory card. I got like 4 or 5 memory cards from my DSLR, and they all the same sound, so I don't know what's on what memory card. I'm just going through a memory card that I didn't know which one it was, and I got like a 3-4 minute video of me sitting in that same chair that's behind me when I'm doing the workups on my clothes, talking about why I had bariatric surgery last year. Because everybody tends to think that type of stuff is about looks. It had nothing to do with looks. I got a 4-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a wife that I need to be here. I need to dunk on both of my sons once. Then I ain't got to jump no more for the rest of my life. You understand? I need to be able to be present because I realized last summer, the summer before that, my kids wanted to go outside and play when I got home from the shop, and I just didn't have the energy to do it. I ain't wanna go outside with my then 7, 8-year-old because I ain't wanna run.
Yeah.
They don't deserve that. They deserve for me to be as in tip-top shape as I can possibly be. And this is something that can be applied to whatever the main issue of your life not being what it needs to be. It could be applied to anything. If your health ain't right, you ain't gonna want to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
You gonna keep eating and you gonna keep having sex and stuff like that don't really add to you. You're gonna keep spending money on stuff that don't add to you also. And like, man, I had a situation with my wife where, look, man, we had to go over them family finances. She say, look, now you got to make some changes. You need to do this, that, and the third. And I couldn't sit up and be like, well, babe, but no, like, you right. And I had to figure out what system do I need to follow because it's easier for her because she's a 9-to-5 person. She get a direct deposit, and that's the reason why we don't have life insurance. A lot of us don't have health insurance. We don't have business insurance, even at that. Our hands ain't insured. They should be. Any person, I'll tell you something. Any person that's a fighter and they've been on TV, their hands is insured for a reason. Our hands should be insured too. If I break this finger, I can't cut. I still need to make some type of money. It's called a contingency plan. But we think that everything is going to be good, and everything ain't always going to be good. Sometimes stuff go down. You need to have a plan for that. So I had to figure out what is it that I need to do to make sure I could get this money in this account the way I'm supposed to. Now, it took me years to figure it out, and I figured it out finally. So then that's one less thing I got to worry about. And with my emotions, I need therapy right now. Hey, baby, come on. Y'all know how this go for me. No, don't do that. I got kids. One thing I learned: if I'm doing something, he gonna come down here at some point. That's how he go. And I'm gonna let him come down. I don't know what it's gonna work up in when he get older. But
Suge gonna be like, hey, Suge like Steph Curry at the post conference. Hey, just go back, baby. Hey, we cool. But you know what? I love to see that, man. Like, so many people down there in a professional setting, but I love to see that because guess what? That's who you're working for. So I want you to see who I'm working for.
There you go. So when you ask me for a discount and I show you this picture that's at my shop, when I show you this picture right there, hey man, when I give you a discount, I take food off their table. Now I'm only gonna say that one time to you before I get offended when you ask me for another discount. Because I showed you. You've been with me for a long time. You've been with me since before I had kids and a wife, but now I got kids and a wife. So that $5 you asking for, that discount you asking for loyalty, that nigga like to eat that. He keep growing. He growing. That's a big point.
But sure, can I ask you this, man?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask any of y'all? Can I ask any of y'all guys this? Why is it the client, that loyal client that wants that discount, why is that the only benefit he brings to your table? Like, that client wants the discount, but they don't. Hey man, you hungry? Hey man, I know you in the shop and you said you gotta get your daughter from, you know what I'm saying? You want me to go run and get your kid real quick? You want me to go help you?
Yep.
No, they don't never do that. All they want is take.
I got clients that do that, and they don't have to ask for nothing.
Let me say that. I have some awesome clients, bro. My loyal clients run through a brick wall for me, and it goes back and forth, man. Like I'll do the same for them, and that's one of the things for me. I get up and go, and on the back end, the money comes, but money is not even the like you talked about earlier, KG. Money ain't even the driving force. It ain't a passion. It's just part of what comes with it. So from that standpoint, as far as my loyal client, man, I've been blessed, man. They go grab me lunch. Whatever, man. They look out, man. So if any of y'all listening, I greatly appreciate y'all and I love you.
I think, man, it takes you though. It starts with you. And something KG said earlier, the DJ kind of put it down. He kind of wrapped it up a little bit. Entrepreneurship is capitalism wrapped in self-development. Something you said earlier, I thought was a very productive way of approaching starting that conversation of more driven desire to develop yourself, driven desire to conversation about mental health, anything dealing with self-awareness, right? To associate that conversation in the barber world, I think you almost have to approach it from the perspective of finances first. Because once you get barbers and stylists talking about what impacts their ability to make money to provide for their families or provide for themselves or continue to live at the standard that they've created through this industry, the more you chase the pursuit of sustainable growth in finances, believe it or not, the more you start to unveil some of your flaws in your character. You start to understand that the reason I can't, if you're an aware person, right? And sometimes it takes for somebody else to point it out for you, or to at least gesture to the notion that, hey man, you might want to take a look at this. Maybe you aren't getting the tips that you should, or you feel you should be getting for what you do because your tone is off. Maybe people aren't taking to you the way you think they should take to you because you don't address them in the manner in which they came to you. You address everybody the same. You don't address your professionals professional and your street guys professional. You pick and choose game. But anyway, once you start to pursue advancement in finance, a lot of times in that journey, you'll start to find those roadblocks where your characteristics have to be tweaked and adjusted in order to move past those boundaries. You'll understand that, Shy from 113th and Princeton out of South Side of Chicago can't come with me on this ride.
Yeah.
When I go through the next door, I gotta leave his black ass on the other side of it.
Yes, sir.
Or door's not gonna keep opening.
Yeah.
I also understand that I did all this to myself. So when I walk in this door, I have to be a better representation than my visual representation. All those things force you into a position where you have to understand that in order for me to change the appearance and the product, I got to go inside and repair the wounds. Go inside and understand that it's okay to be vulnerable, because the only way I can grow is through my vulnerability. Okay to have them conversations and let somebody else know that I'm not okay. Because if I keep lying to the people who can help me and tell them I'm okay, they'll take my words at face. Some people can look at you and can tell that you're not okay, but because you're unwilling to say you're not okay, they don't have any message to deliver. They don't know how to help you. Strong people are even stronger at keeping people away.
Yeah.
But I think, and I agree with you 1,000,000%. But I think in our culture, in our communities, it's learned. We're taught to we got to be the strong one. We got to the poker face. You early on, you don't cry. Wipe it off. You're gonna be okay. And so, what I'm saying, that carries off into so many things. Because like for me, I felt, and me and my wife would talk about it, like I had to be strong for so many people. Like I went through a phase and I went back.
I saw it.
I could really start to see.
Hey, hold on.
Right. What's the difference? Right.
I seen Julian. I was reading. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me speak on.
So for y'all, that's one of our guys who's part of our podcast.
Shout out Kenny Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
okay, so
that's one of our
let me expand on the transparency and vulnerability. First off, the difference is being vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak. What really makes you strong is you being transparent, because your transparency is to let somebody in and let them in on a part of your life that you wouldn't let everybody in on. But when you know you need that, I need help. Like Shy can say this. About a month ago, my brother passed away. I dealt with it. I dealt with it. I dealt with it the black man way. So I was talking to my best friend, and she was like, "If you need anything, just let me know." And she's like, "Are you good?" And this was the greatest answer that I could give. I said, I'm good. Two words. I'm good, but I'm not good. You understand what I'm saying? That was me being transparent and giving up a little bit of vulnerability to my friend to let her know I'm dealing with this, but I'm really not good with what I'm dealing with. But I'm so busy, I don't even have time to deal with that emotion because I got to keep going for my family. I got to keep going for the moment and the season that I'm in. You know what I mean? And with that being said, some of my emotions had to become transparent. You could see I wasn't in a good mood. You could see I wasn't having the greatest day. You could see I had conflict in my mind. You could see me just being tired. You know when you done seen somebody, you like, hey bro, you tired, ain't you? Because I can tell you tired. That's how it was. And I think Shy and the rest of the crew at the shop for allowing me to just be me. You know what I mean? And because that's all I needed for that moment. It's not to say that's what I will always need, because I know that Barber family, I can take to them like, look, bro, I ain't good. You know, and that guy right there, Shy, will tell you in a minute, hey, bro, go home. We got you, we got your clients, but we need you to be good, because one bad day we can cover, but bad weeks, bad months, bad years, we can't cover that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what needs to happen. So the difference is you need to be transparent to allow somebody to see your vulnerability and what you're going through mentally. So that's the difference. The difference is you first got to be one way to let me know that, hey, you're not good. Then you got to give me the vulnerability.
Because it's one of them questions where it's going to have different definitions for everybody, right?
Yeah.
I think that you first got to understand that that's those two things are going to be different for everybody, right?
Most
Me
definitely.
personally, I think that the difference between vulnerability and transparency is vulnerability is this is my personal definition of it, right? Vulnerability is my ability or my willingness to absorb help. That's being vulnerable.
Right.
Transparency is my
Let you in.
willingness to show you that I need it.
Mm.
That's what I feel the differences in those two are, right? I can show you, I can be as transparent as possible with you and let you know I'm struggling, I'm hurting. But if I'm not willing to be vulnerable to what you offering me in the sense your ability to help, what you have to offer is help. If I'm not vulnerable, I won't accept it.
True.
I'll be hurt,
Absolutely.
but a lot of times hurt puts up a wall of fear.
Mm.
You don't let other people in. You don't want to be vulnerable because I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Whatever put me in this place, I may have worked through it enough to be vulnerable, but a lot of times my way of working through it was toxic male masculinity. So my transparency is still cloaked in my fear. So I'm not willing to be vulnerable. Whereas once somebody reached that point of transparency and they're willing to be vulnerable, now you prime to be helped.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to absorb whatever it is that's coming in. Something like the Confess Project may not trigger anything from you if you weren't vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But once you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you can hear those stories from other men, other women,
Mm-hmm.
look like you, and people that don't look like you,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been in a position to absorb it. So for me, the difference is vulnerability is your ability to absorb the help. Transparency is your ability to show that you need it.
No doubt.
So for me,
What you think?
okay.
I'm after you. I'm
So
gonna
for
chime
me,
in.
vulnerability is me telling my 4-year-old or my 9-year-old, hey, when you lied to me, it didn't make me mad. It hurt my feelings, kid. Because one of the first places that we're not able to be vulnerable in is home.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as a man, as a father, we have to show this presence. And we were taught that that presence is strong, not vulnerable. So for me, the first thing is vulnerable. First thing that vulnerability is your ability to tell the truth of how you feel. Because yeah, I gave you a whooping because you lied, but what really happened is it hurt me that you lied to me because you didn't have to lie to me. You could have told me the truth. With anybody, especially with my kids. Transparency is saying to my son, hey kid, don't do that. I did it, and this is what happened. I messed up. I got this girl, or I did this. Transparency is telling the truth about, so to speak, the negativity about that you've been through. Or transparency is me saying to a client of mine, hey man, I was molested as a child, bro. And this is what happened when I was being very truthful about what happened to me, or even something that happened for me is what transparency is. Simply because you gentlemen gave great definitions, so to speak, and it's like some people, I think we make the mistake of ranking the two. Transvisual. Yeah. It's like it's not a versus. It's a and like the way the question was posed. You need to have a level of both, and you got to know which one to be. Sometimes with transparency could be dangerous because some people are not ready for the level of transparency that some of us are willing to be. And I had to learn that lesson. I'm very truthful. There's nothing about my life that I won't talk about unless it involves another party that's not ready to be talked about, so to speak, or whatever. Because I'm like, man, you know what? I realized a long time ago when I gave my testimony on camera that when you tell the truth, other people start telling the truth too. They start saying, you know what? I went through that, and I didn't think no other guys or nobody else really went through that. But man, hearing you talk about it made me want to talk about my story, which it starts a trickle down effect or whatever. It's like those pizzerias in New York that be like, hey, if you give this $1, you know, we probably all heard those stories where a person could buy a slice of pizza for another person and they just put the thing on the wall. So if somebody poor walks in and they can't afford it but they hungry, they could just grab one of them paper plates because somebody already paid it forward. I think transparency is something that has to be paid forward. Vulnerability is something that you have to live with every day, even if you're just being vulnerable to yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, and I think they kind of go tit for tat, right? So when I think of vulnerability for me, I think it's dropping your guards, right? It's allowing somebody to get in and be able to help you. You know what I mean? And a lot of us, we're taught to hold those guards up and we don't trust, because when you drop those guards, it allows people to gain leverage, right? And so when people have leverage, they can hurt you from different ways and different angles, for me, right? So it's being open, and a lot of times you're scared because of what may come behind it. But the transparency part is just being honest, owning your story, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? It's like revealing a wound, but the vulnerable part is allowing somebody to patch that wound up and help you work and put that peroxide and that Band-Aid on that wound. Now you're vulnerable because you're allowing them to put their hands on that wound. And so I think it goes tit for tat, and you know, and so that
was a great question.
That was a great question, because
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
In the vein of vulnerability and transparency, we have to understand, because both have to do with healing.
Right.
I don't know if y'all would agree with me on that. We got to realize that healing hurts.
Absolutely.
A lot of times, when you start talking about the alcohol and all that other stuff, I remember a situation where our dog bit my son in the hand. It wasn't real bad, but it was, kids see red and they go berserk. And sometimes, with a kid, we'll do it with people, period. We will tell them that the healing won't hurt as much as it will. Now, understand that that's how you get scarred. When they tell you that the healing is the easy part, but in fact, it hurts. Now you don't want to heal. You just want to keep picking the scab because it keeps it the same. So I had to change the narrative in my own household. Yeah, his hand was bleeding. It was a nice little cut. It wasn't too bad. And as soon as he see alcohol, he'd be like, "Is it gonna hurt?" He went more berserk before it even happened. And when he said, "Is it gonna hurt?" I was gonna say, "Man, it's gonna be all right." But I realized the shock that would have happened if I poured the alcohol on his hand, it actually hurt. That might make him think I'm a liar.
Yeah.
So I said, "It's gonna hurt." But what's gonna hurt worse is if I don't do it. Your hand could get infected because a dog bit you. We don't know what bit in our dog mouth. We try to keep a clean dog. But if I don't do this right now to disinfect your hand from what could happen to it, it might be worse. You might lose your hand, kid. That's just the truth. Okay. I poured it on there, and he was all right. He was like, it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was. But it would have hurt worse had I not told him how bad it was going to be.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's the setup of our life, though, man. And this condition is colorblind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
As men, and a lot of time women too, you're set up to be hurt way more than you should be because people have told you your whole life, just keep it to yourself. Don't worry about nobody else's business. Mind your own business.
Yeah.
You ain't got to tell everybody your business. You ain't got to this. You ain't got to that. And it goes back to the analogy. You know, hurt people, and lost people led you to be lost. You know,
or what happens in this house,
right?
Hey.
And then you grow up and you hurt and broken. All your friends are hurt and broken. But it's not okay to have a conversation about it until you're grown. Then you get grown and you get into a barbershop and you start having conversations, and people who ain't never spoke ever before in the barbershop hear a conversation and be like, "Hey, my mama hit me."
Hey, what?
And it initiates the conversation, and it's like, dang, man, I wonder how much trauma in my life could have been avoided had the narrative been changed in my home. How many holes would I have not dug where I had to figure out to put the shovel down? Had somebody told me that the shovel was digging the holes to begin with? How many of them conversations? But I ain't going. We can go on this conversation all night long. What's your next? Man?
Right. I got another question. So with all of us working in shops, right? I'm in a mall, right? And this particular mall is by a main stretch where you can public transportation and things of that nature, and so you catch a lot of wonders with all the violence and just the where we are in the world today. What are you guys doing? What can we do working in barber shops just to make it more safe, just dealing with all the violence, the mass shootings, all the craziness? Because me, I don't know about y'all, I keep my head on a swivel when I'm at work. I have this door, but you got the mall, you got people going through, you might go to the public bathroom, there's people with mental health issues, so I'm always on my guard. Do you guys have any input, any advice? Or are you guys doing anything different?
So one thing I would say, we're dealing with the issues, the mental issues of the world, of our communities. Man, the best thing you can do is do what you're doing, stay paying attention, understand and recognize something that's different before it recognizes you. What I mean by that is, if it's June 15th, 96 degrees outside, a man walk in your shop with a winter coat on.
So with that being said, it's interesting because I don't know if y'all go through this, but one of the popular things in our community now is, and now it's a lot of violence, We've had a lot of families trickle in, once the projects were torn down in Chicago. Got a lot of families, from Chicago and, just within central Illinois. A fad in our community now that's big is these shorties in the midst of the summertime. It could be July. They got on jeans and they got on hoodies, and with the pandemic, the masks, and then they walking through the mall, and it's allowed, right? So, and I'm just piggybacking off of that. So I don't know if that's something y'all see, but it's crazy as hell.
But immediately when you hit the door, we're gonna tell you got to take that off.
Yeah,
take it off. If you got a problem with that, have a good day.
Yeah,
you're not
right. But I mean, like from our standpoint, like we're in a mall, so we have our doors closed, but they're different stores. People are in and out. So just being aware and being abreast of what's just going on, period. You know what I mean? Even if they don't come from our door, we come through our doors. Of course, we have policies when you step through our doors, but just the potential danger of just being in
I don't
that
think you're
air.
ever going to be in a situation anywhere, whether it's in the mall or you want to stay on stop, where you can 100% protect yourself, everybody, because the world is the world is. You live in the world, they can live in the world too. I think some of the things that are countermeasures for the potential dangers in a barbershop is, first and foremost, everybody has to be on the same page in the shop. If any of us recognize something isn't right, all of us will be notified. Listen, we got some young dudes in here, but they paying attention. If I don't catch it, he catch it. If he don't catch it, they catch it. If they don't catch it, we catch it. And if us catch it, we catch it. Somebody paying attention. In addition to that, it got to go back to the conversation we just had. Everything starts with you. The energy that you put out is dictate in majority of the cases what energy is invited into that space. I'm a firm believer, that if the energy in the space is good, only gonna highlight negative energy. If you are counterproductive to the positive flow of what's going on in here, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb. And so I feel like the more we sow into the environments being positive, the people that we attract being positive, when the bad things slip through the cracks, we've had instances in here where the clients, it ain't just us. We had a guy come in and ask KG, and he ain't mean no harm at all. He just came in and asked to use a phone so he can make a phone call to get his ride because his phone died or whatever the case. But because the environment is conducive to, I would say, familiarity. Like when people come in here, they respond with a familiar energy because that's what we give. Every person through this door, we treat you like you done been here before, right? So when this person come in and the first thing they do is they don't speak to nobody, make no eye contact with nobody, and they beeline over, you done put everybody on high alert.
Yeah, we watch it.
So if you do come in here and you get with the monkey, you ain't gonna make it out the door. I can guarantee you that. You're not gonna make it out the door. That's first. That's rule number one. Another thing I noticed when dude came in here, KG, did you notice this? All the clippers went off. Nobody.
We gotta hear what you're talking about.
Nobody said nothing. We recognized that something was different. And all the clippers went off. Mid haircut. All the clippers go off because now we paying attention. And we want you to know we paying attention.
And that's the way it should be done.
Exactly.
Any shop, any salon, and Sugar, I'll expand on this. I used to be in the suite. Like you, I used to be in the suite. Even when you in the suite, I've seen dudes do some stuff that let me know you didn't come from a certain kind of neighborhood. And it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it, but it's something wrong when you don't pay attention to your environment. Like, I've seen a dude leave the suite, he locking up, he let his clients walk out by themselves, he walk out by himself. And I'm sitting there just warming my vehicle up, waiting to leave, and I'm like, they would have robbed his client and they robbed him. I said, but the sad thing is he wasn't even protecting his client, because and your client, not only should you be protecting your client should be protecting you at that time. Because at that time, your client should be like, hey, my man, you about to lock up? Hey, go ahead, man. I'm gonna stick around with you. We walk out together.
Right.
Or as a barber, it's your right to say, hey, man, don't walk out. Hey, we're gonna walk out together.
I got
because I want to make sure you good.
I'm gonna go out with you. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I put it like this. I'm from Detroit, born and raised. I've been around the world, and
You West Side,
East Side? Y'all seen East Side. Born and raised on the East Side. I live in the burbs now, but I was born and raised on the East Side, so you already know 48214, like Maserati Rick, all that. That's my neighborhood. Satan, hold on.
Okay.
Daddy,
what is you doing? Sajan.
Yeah.
What is you doing? Sajan. Hey, y'all, I gotta go.
All right, bro.
Okay.
What is you doing, boy?
You good.
Hey, that's what happened when parenting. Hey, and that's the thing. Anybody over here?
Yeah.
That's what happened when parenting carries over into the social media time. Hey, you never know what.
Right. Right.
Never clock out.
Hope little guy, all right.
But like KG was saying, man, that's one layer of protection, right? How you cultivating the environment. That's one layer of protection. How everybody is kind of on the same page. I think it's pretty much understood in here that if you uncomfortable, we got your back.
Yeah.
If you uncomfortable for any reason, you ain't got to worry. There's never gonna be a bro. You gotta fuck nah. If you don't like it, we don't like it.
Yeah.
Period. For whatever.
Just expand on that. We had a situation, and it wasn't even it was just a dislike in a price. But this situation, and it's funny now, but I want to speak on it because this situation right here is what unified us as a crew, made us a barber family. Right. A fellow barber had a unsatisfied client complain about his price. And this guy was more laid back, quiet. More laid back, passive aggressive. Because then you push him in the corner, you're gonna get ate up. I can tell you that. But he was getting pushed in the corner. Where we had a cat that he just joined the team, and he can be the muscle without even saying anything. But
he literally was a bouncer.
His bouncer kicked in like 5 minutes
immediate,
and he was about to take over the situation, but he was allowing my man to handle it. And the thing was, my man wasn't even studying the client to the point like the other guy was like, hey man, he said what he said, man. That's what it is. and from that moment, it was like, oh yeah, he with us. He can roll. But the thing was, everybody was watching out and listening to the verbiage and the conversation, because at a certain point, hey man, you can't bully this man into his business. Practice don't happen. If that's his price, that's his price. If you didn't like it, hey man, guess what? You don't have to return. Go your separate ways, and both y'all gonna be good. But trying to bully somebody and people out there, quit trying to bully barbers. Like if you're a client, quit trying to bully your barber. You ain't gonna get a great haircut trying to bully your barber. But
why would you want to try to put a negative start to somebody that's gonna be in your head?
Yeah, because hey, that might not be. You might end up with that Kanye self haircut. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, man, that's stuff that if you got man law, man ethics, woman law, woman ethics, if you got human law, hey, look, man, I see a situation, bro. I'm not about to let nobody do nothing to you because we a crew in my presence. Yeah, we might have argued earlier today. We might have disagreed about something earlier today. But none of that is more important than what's important here. In the shop, you and your fellow barbers, y'all are important for the shop to run. next is your clients.
Absolutely.
And the protection and the comfortability that you allow your clients to be in. Because if your client is in an uncomfortable situation, they might keep coming get their haircut. But guess what? That's all they're gonna do. It would never be I'm gonna stay out there and talk. Now, hey, bro, all right, I'll let you. And they gone. Because they only want to get service. You know, they appreciate your service that much, but they never feel comfortable enough to stick around because they feel like that environment is not inducive, or that environment is not comfortable enough for me that I can let my guards down and be a little vulnerable as a client. So
that also goes into as a barber, you have to be selective with who you keep as clients.
Yes.
Barbers, I think sometimes we can get greedy and want to keep all your clients. Sometimes you got to be willing to let some people go, because you could have. I've heard horror stories about barbershops in Chicago and the situations that happen where street mess spills over into the shop. Street mess is spilling over into the shop because you're inviting the street mess into the shop by keeping those clients part of your staff that you should have fired a long time ago. And it ain't no. Here's the misconception with firing a barber or a client. It's not always done from a bad place. Sometimes what somebody brings just isn't good for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you leave with a client isn't good for them. You may be good at cutting hair, but your energy may be bad. You may be good at cutting hair, but your scheduling is bad, and vice versa. It is what it is. I think that's another layer of protection. And another thing we do here is we highly encourage the police to come and get their haircuts. KG will tell you, it was an incident at the store next door, and when I pulled back up to the shop, it's 2 or 3 police cars and 2 or 3 police officers standing out there having a conversation about what happened. Immediately, instead of just putting my head down and walking past them, I walked up to them and, hey man, I know you got that bald head, but you come in here and we can get that beard together.
Yeah.
Y'all are more than welcome as service of the public. You're more than welcome to come into this barbershop. These doors are always open. It's a standing invitation for you to come and sit down, have a conversation with us, or sit down and get a service now. But I want you to feel invited here. The fire department is walking distance from here. I'm always catching guys out there when they working out or just standing out washing the truck. Hey, what's going on? When we stand outside this door, when the police ride past, I ain't got to know who the driver of the car is to speak.
Yep.
Right? I want you to associate this with a place that's inviting to you. That way, if you hear this address go over your radio, I know what that's at. Yeah.
Let me get
That's another layer of protection. If you got a client in there that even got the notion of mess on their mind, and he see that the police come in there and get his hair cut, I bet it change his mind.
Oh man, it's gonna change his conversation.
I bet his mind.
It'll change his conversation, man. And that like, to me, man, that's the one thing that working in shops, and that's why I say, man, coming out that suite, going back into a shop, man, that was the greatest thing that I was missing. Like, I love pouring my energy into my clients. I love receiving their energy, but sometimes you need energy from other clients that's not getting the service. You need energy from another barber that's hey man, you ain't know how I felt this morning. This morning I wasn't happy when I came to work. You know what I'm saying? Well, tell me about it. What was wrong? Oh man, you ain't even you a trip off this. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Wasn't today a good ass day?
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? What I realized right as we sat down and we was watching that game when you was finishing up that kid's hair. By the way, them tables was flawless, but we ain't gonna. Did you realize that we hadn't turned the music on all day?
None. Well, I think the latest thing we had was we had a movie on for a minute, and honestly, the conversations were so great. We was cutting the volume down on the TV just to, hey, hear what you saying. What you talking?
Today was one of them days. Do you remember me always say, man, some days could be so good it feel like the shop breathing.
Yeah.
Today was one one of them days, bro. I keep not, bro. Was
one of them days, huh?
The conversation in this shop was all day, all day. It was a vibe in this shop that just was just a wave. The whole. I promise you, I'm not.
Nah, it was, but
bro, I'm not fabricating this story, bro. It was a vibe. It was every client that came in here was part of the. We had a client come in here, bro, as a walk-in at maybe 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
and he stayed in here for maybe 3-4 hours.
Honestly, he wasn't able to get in till about
around 3.
About 3:45 actually.
Yeah, I remember you saying I got 1 before. I'll get you before. Yeah, bro.
But
he engaged in conversation the entire time he was in here.
Yep. And he was like that the first time he came in the shop. He got engaged in the conversation by he wasn't paying attention. Well,
he was trying not to talk.
He was trying not to get engaged.
And he was trying not to engage. He just wanted to get a haircut.
Right.
But the conversation was so good, bro, that he kept looking up.
So he had to pitch in.
Yeah. Hey, but how we knew he was a good spirited dude.
Right.
The situation that was going on, he said, "Hey, bro, hey, don't stress yourself like that, King."
Yeah.
He called that man King and then he knew him. But he was saying it like, "Hey, bro, empower yourself." He was empowering him by saying it. You know what I mean? That's what it should be. Like when you go in the shop, man, it shouldn't be. And I say it like this because I've worked in a shop where I had a client and another barber had a client, and they ain't like each other. We knew they ain't like each other. So guess what? I went to my fellow barbers. Hey, bro, they both are gonna get their hair cut here. What we have to do is minimize their presence amongst each other. So when they were booked, I go ask them like, "Hey, yo, dude book yet?" Nah. Hey, well, look, when he booked, dude coming on this day, you need to move him to a totally different day.
Right.
And certain things like that you can keep in house. That's when they say keep it in house, you keep it in house. It's not that's not for everybody to know that there's a problem, because guess what? Now if we open it up as something small and minute make it into a big situation, we're creating a platform for the negativity to come. But if we minimize that and leave it, hey, look, this is where we're gonna make it work until they make it work for themselves. Maybe we might be the answer to make them resolve their issue. But until it's resolved in a man's way, we have to let it be bygones be bygones. But in that, guess what? I want to eat and I want my fellow barber to eat. So I'm not gonna tell you, hey man, my client gonna come and your client can't come. No, it's not gonna be like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna protect this shop because we have to protect the business. And we're gonna protect our brand, and we're gonna protect the clients, because that's what your responsibility as a good barber is supposed to be. Hey man, you want your clients to feel comfortable, make them. You want them to come back, it's not just a haircut. And I tell everybody that. Everybody that's with the barber school, you should be able to cut. You can do a fade at least. The fade is a great thing, but that shouldn't be all you can do. You should be able to make them feel comfortable, make them feel like, hey man, my barber loves me enough to care about me and keep me protected. If it's nothing but a 30-minute protection, meaning like if that person only in your chair for 30 minutes and they gone, you better make them feel as comfortable as they need to feel before they get up out of there, because that's gonna bring them back. Because some people, guess what? It's some barbers, they ain't good. They ain't as good as the other skilled barbers in their shop. And you wonder how they got clients, because they got great customer service, they consistent, and their professionalism speaks volumes over their skill set. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, man, that's what any great barber, anybody want the advice of being a great barber? Protect you, protect your business, protect your clients. It doesn't have to always be in that order, but whenever that order needs to be put in whatever order, make sure you know how to do it. And never be scared to have confrontation, not really confrontation, but a conversation with your fellow barber or another grown adult. Like, look, man, y'all got this situation going on now. And I've had clients that didn't like each other. And I had to, I did the, okay, he on Tuesday, I got him on Thursday, I'm gonna keep it like that. And then something happened and both of them got to come on Friday. Guess what? You can come on Friday, but you better come at 9 in the morning because I'm booked up. And I ain't gonna tell you I need you to come on Friday at 9 because old boy coming at 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even about to let you, I'm not even about to get involved in y'all mess. So if you be like, hey man, you seen such like, nah, bro, he still come through, but I can't remember what day he came through. You gotta leave.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah. And your clients should make the shop, nothing should pop off in the shop. Go outside. Don't even go outside. Take this somewhere else.
You can't respect us in this shop enough to dead that issue, to not let it be an issue. We do enough to keep making space.
Right.
Gotta go. You gotta go. That's like if somebody. It's like if you invited me to your house. Yep. I got an issue with somebody else at your house, and I'll be like, all right, come on, man, step outside, and we go to your yard and tussle.
Right.
Still disrespecting you in your house.
Yep. No good.
Cause guess what? Your neighbors ain't calling the police on me. They calling
on you. Yeah, riding past, they seeing two random people fighting. Yeah. They seeing two random people fighting in front of your house, so they associated your house with the problems. Yeah. So now step outside. Y'all can either fix it here or don't come back.
Exactly.
That's
it.
Bottom line.
And then at the end of the day, another layer of protection, the final layer of protection, we in the great state of Tennessee. So that fire is always available.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Attention on how ignorant you trying to be.
Yeah. And that's not something that's wanted, but don't take it there. You know what I mean? And if you respect yourself, respect me and my business, because I'm gonna respect you and your most. And that's the way it should be, man. Like I know I feel what you're saying though, Oz, by being in you're in a shop, you have a shop within a public place, and sometimes some of the craziness that comes your way ain't caused by your shop. But the best thing in your shop, my advice for you is the best thing in your shop, always keep your barber family, your barber crew, whoever it is, and your clients aware of, like, look, we in this area, we're in this situation. You know what I mean? Let's stay watching what's really going on, and I think we can stay good.
Yeah, you definitely be straight.
Right.
You see barbers desk or anybody that's working within that shop bringing in problems and trouble.
Yeah,
you gotta cut it out like a cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know, cut it out like a cat.
Everybody got that one homeboy that might be a little he the cancer, man. Sometimes you just gotta be like, hey, look, bro, we don't mind your partner coming through, but hey, you need to control them, because if you can't, you know what I mean.
But again, I keep saying this because you've seen it. It starts with you.
Yeah. It does.
But some people can who they are in their regular life is something totally different. When they come to see you to get their haircut, people who respect you, and I mean truly respect, they gonna leave that at the door.
Absolutely.
They gonna leave that at the
Yep.
Coming like that. They're gonna leave that at the door. The ones who can't leave it at the door, you know, that's a short-lived relationship.
Can't come through the door.
Because at the end of the day, I don't know about at your shop, bro, besides your son working in there, but your son is an adult. Our young children are here. Yeah. Our stylist sons are here sometimes. Jay's son, young son, is here sometimes. Rob's girlfriend is here. People we love is here. So this environment the option to be negative ain't on the table.
No.
Yo, listen, my
don't even exist,
bro,
right?
Anybody that know me, bro, know that my daughter is priority number one. It's to the point where KG done had to calm. He like, bro, you don't like people sitting in the back with Addison here, do you? Bro, I don't, bro. It don't. Bro, I don't want nobody next to it, bro, like this. Anyway.
And it's funny. I'll say this. It's only funny because I know he's a dad with a daughter. I got a daughter. And I know how I feel about my daughter. I know how I feel, you know what I'm saying? I know how I feel when dudes just make shrewd comments. And we know what, we know the game. Like, hey, first of all, I don't even need you talking like that around my daughter. Because if I don't talk like that around my daughter, I don't want you talking like that around her. Because guess what? I have to have an extra conversation with her on the way home to make her understand that that's not how all of us speak. That's not how all of us talk. That's not right. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, I just peeped it one day, and I knew, well, in my mind, I was the same way. I was like, hey, man, dude need to move around a little bit. Like, hey,
it's like, it's more seats. Like,
hey,
and I
you ain't, like,
hold it up, bro. I tried. I couldn't hold it, bro. I look back, and I keep looking back there.
Right.
Hey, my man.
Mo telling her to come. Hey, he like, hey, come here.
You can come sit up here. Addison, come sit over here.
Yeah.
Come in, man. Because the world we live in, man, it's unpredictable. Unpredictable. And I'm really, when it comes to my baby, bro, every day I'm doing everything I can to stay out of the penitentiary, bro. Because
hey, he a real dad, Osh, you know what I'm saying? And to see it, man, it's just it's a beautiful thing, but it's just understanding. And you don't even have to have kids. Like, before I even had kids, man, I was understanding that, hey, kids are a blessing, man, and you gotta protect them. And protecting your kids ain't just you; it's the people around you that call themselves family or treat they or call themselves a brother to you. Hey, it's my responsibility to look out for your kids too. And I would say that because I'm gonna say this. So many barbers want to be celebrity barbers. Well, guess what? Being a celebrity barber ain't just cutting hair. Guess what? When you start getting involved with celebrities and in their lifestyle, you're going to have to be a chauffeur. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to be, hey, man, I got to be a doctor. Hey, man, I had to take my boy kids to school because guess what? He had to fly out on a quick business trip to go make $1 million deal. So now I got to be family for him. And guess what? That is a priceless value. Can't nobody put no price on that. So if you give it that, they don't care about you being a celebrity barber. They gonna be like, hey, yo, that's KG, that's my family. You know what I'm saying? Just so happen I got a status and he got a status, and my status has me living in this world with this lifestyle. And to say and with that, it'll take you a long way just being a genuine good person, a genuine good dude. But don't just get the wool pulled over your eyes. I always keep your head on the swivel, man. You know, so that right there, man, just be aware of your surroundings. That's first and foremost. I'll say as a Pisces to my fellow Pisces, hey bro, keep your head on the swivel, look around, look at the bigger picture, don't look at the little picture in the tunnel or in the tube. Step back and look at the picture out the window. You know what I'm saying? And it'll help you, man. It'll truly help you. And just making your clients comfortable enough to say, hey man, I go to my shop, man. Yeah, it's right by the hood, but I never feel intimidated. I never feel scared. I never have fear.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It ain't in the hood by no means. It's just an open space. You know what I'm saying? Just in the mall, so anybody has the freedom. You know what I'm saying, to walk there, and it's on a bus line.
Yeah.
You know
but one thing is, I'll say this.
Oh man.
Hey, if it's on a bus line and somebody on the bus line come to do something negative to you, guess what? They in trouble. Cause they're gonna have to get a transfer to get back where they came from anyway. So you can catch that.
and it's crazy all you will see, because police station right there, fire department, the courthouse, the federal courthouse, all this, but man, it's mental
and one
health
thing
is
I
real,
want to
man.
say,
You
man,
just, you know,
as a
it's some
black
people
man,
struggle.
we already deal with PTSD. And the thing is,
Right.
as a man,
Right.
you need to learn yourself the different levels of your PTSD. You know what I mean? Because we've all been told to be a certain kind of way, or a way you couldn't be. You couldn't be this vulnerable because of, and they never really gave you the of. They just told you couldn't be. Hey man, you can't cry.
Right.
Get up. You can't cry. Yeah, you can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No pity party, but you can cry.
Right.
So with me saying that, I'm gonna say
Right,
this.
no doubt.
Yo, June 11th, come to Tennessee, come to Nashville, Tennessee, come to the Tennessee Trade Show, because we're gonna speak on more topics like this. Come get you some skill set, some education, but come have a great networking moment with some dope barbers, dope stylists, dope people in the beauty industry, man. That's what Major League Barber presents when we present these shows. We don't want you to just come and buy the newest clipper, or you know, get up here and learn the newest trick from this person and that person, or just get out there and compete to say, hey, I got a belt and I'm the man. Nah, we want you to get out there and brand yourself, network with other barbers. Because guess what? It's another barbershop owner going through what you're going through, Oz. They trying to figure out how to keep clients and keep barbers coming in. They trying to figure out, like, yo, if I'm in this mall, you know what I mean? Should I be this way or should I be that way? That's the beauty of trade shows, is going to meet somebody that's just like you. That's where you're from.
Right, going
through
the same thing.
That right there,
No doubt.
people always wonder, man, what's in it for me at a trade show? A better you. A better you.
Absolutely.
But guys, wow.
With that being said, rounding out, it's that time, man. I'm gonna try to catch. Man is probably gonna watch me, but man, I greatly appreciate it, man. We look forward to coming down there, man. Vibing with y'all.
I can't wait to see you, bro. Been seeing you on the live. Done talked to you before, but can't wait to meet you in person, man.
Likewise.
And everybody, this podcast will be at the show. So if you come to the show, be ready to talk. Be ready to give your 2 cents, not only about the Tennessee Trade Show, but give your 2 cents about this barbering industry and this beauty industry. Hey, it's a beautiful industry, y'all. And not just because we make people look beautiful. It's beautiful for what it does for you. If you stay in it for a long time, you can take care of your family. You can see your kids graduate. You can see your houses getting paid for and paid off. It's a lot that you get from this industry, man, that a lot of people don't put the value that needs to be put on this industry. Very valuable industry, though.
No doubt.
Yo.
Man, super. Well, man, I appreciate it, Shaq.
Yeah, man, this has been the I Cut My Way Out podcast for everybody that's on here. Make sure you take the time. Go right up there. Hold up, right there. You see it right there?
Right.
Yeah. You got to go right there. Click down. Follow the I Cut My Way Out podcast page. Follow KG Cuts and the MLB Barber page. I think he on the MLB page, which was the Tennessee Show page. All you got to do is pull it down, hit follow. Pull it down, hit follow. You can follow us all at the same time, believe it or not. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you can be aware, be made aware when we go live. I'm going to tell you something for the people who stayed on here, because I see some people that stayed on here. So I got some for you. Who stayed on here? We got Rock on here. We got I think it's Torres. You got the real Ethan King. You got Ash Picasso on here. You got She Love Cairo on here. We got a lot of people on here, right? For the people, I want y'all to know, I'm working something out with KG. Well, potentially on the next live or lives coming up, we're gonna have some ticket giveaways. So
yeah.
I don't know. You know, we got a little something cooking. You know what I'm saying? A little something cooking.
Hey.
But you won't know. You won't be a part of it if you don't. Hold up, let me show you again. Right there.
Bang.
Right there.
Yep.
You got to click it down, hit follow, and turn on the post notifications when we go live. You could win tickets to the Tennessee Trade Show. You may have never
might
been
win
to a trade show
you
ever.
might win a sheer bracelet or something. You might win a sheer bracelet.
You never know. It's gonna be some situations to be situations for the situation, but you won't know nothing about the situation.
Right.
You go right there.
So unless you
Click
doing
it, like it, hit follow, and turn on post notifications. But this has been the Cut My Way Out podcast. We thank you so much for joining us. If you are somebody who are looking to get on and share your story, be transparent with us, and yeah, be a part of what we got going on. We're moving forward in this industry. I don't know if you've been seeing it, but it started to make its impact. People starting to pay. So,
hey man, I won't say this, bro. Shy man, I love what y'all doing with the podcast. We should have been had one. We need even more, but we really don't need more. We just need more people to get on here, tell their stories, and be vulnerable and transparent. Because your story is somebody else's story. Just because you got it, guess what? Somebody else going through what you're going through. If you've been divorced, somebody's going through that. If you're trying to figure out how to balance your family along with your business, a lot of us go through that. So guess what? Get on here, man. Share your story. Let people know what you have to offer besides your skill set.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that might be the problem why you ain't got that many clients. You got a good skill set, but you can't talk worth nothing because you don't let it out. You hold it all in. It's fine. And introvert.
This is what we're doing to help with that, man. To help put people on a platform. So we're gonna get out of here, but before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't answer this lady's question.
You choose.
She said, I have a question. As a single mom of 2 black boys, how do I choose a barber? I don't want to leave my sons alone, but I feel uncomfortable taking them to the shop.
Find you a I'll say this, shop. Find you a barber that you feel comfortable with. And what I mean by feeling comfortable, you feel comfortable that they're gonna treat your kids like family. Because that barber is not, whether he's a new client or a returning client for many, many years. A real barber is gonna always protect your client, protect your kids, and make sure your kids are good. And if they know
that is this. I actually recommended this to a lady who's actually bringing her son is autistic, and she's cut his hair for the longest by herself, and she wants him to get a haircut. But long story short, the way that I would recommend you go about finding that barber, because it seems like the comfort has to be first yours before you see your kids. So
absolutely,
and you do
absolutely.
When you search barbers or when you search barber shops, before you go anywhere, call.
Yep.
If you can call the barber that you're wanting to go to specifically, even better. As a mom, as a parent, you're going to be able to hold a conversation. I'll give you 3 questions and the rest you can think for yourself, right? 3 questions you can ask that will highlight if that's the right barber for your situation or not is, hey, I'm a mom of 2. Is there any way I could book both my boys and myself? You can also ask, do you cut kids?
Yes.
Do you cut? That's a big question right now. Do you cut kids?
Yep.
You can also ask this question. Now, this question is going to divide the pack immediately. Is there a time that I can bring my boys by and have a consultation with you?
Man.
That question is going to divide the pack right down the middle.
Yep.
Absolutely. One of the benefits that we also have now in the industry is with the booking sites. You can also find reviews um, of barbers, which oftentimes is helpful. I know a lot of clients that we have come in, go through the reviews, and not only the portfolio tells a lot about the environment in which you're coming into and whatnot. So all the things you guys said, also just locating those booking apps just to see who and what is in your environment, and just kind of follow up, just to see the level of consistency with the reviews in regards to the atmosphere. You can see pictures, but just those reviews of atmosphere, because a comfortable atmosphere for you is going to allow you to make sure your kids are comfortable as well. I'm always a big proponent. I've worked with kids forever, and I'm in a community that I was born and raised in. So I'll have some clients, they got to do something, they need to drop the kids off. That's one thing. But I would say until you get, super comfortable with the environment, you want to make sure that you're taking your kids in and you're there with them.
Be devil's advocate
that has
for
to
a
be
second
conducive for you.
A lot of barbers ain't gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Truth. If you got something to do, important, we understand. But you can't have something to do every time you bring your kids to the barbershop. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
Not okay.
That ain't even devil's advocate.
Right.
You heard me.
Because what will happen is you'll sour a good relationship if you do that. Because what you're doing, and you may not be doing it intentionally, but you're abusing the relationship of barber-client obligation.
They care.
You're abusing it, because if every time you come to the shop, you got to make a run, so you got to, and 2 kids, not 1, 2. You got to leave both your boys there. Your boys can be well behaved. Let me say this too. Your boys can be well behaved. Never be a problem. When children are left at the barbershop, especially when you're dealing with responsible adults who may also be parents, we take that job very seriously. If you left your kids with me, I'm making sure if I go to the store, they come to the store with me. If they went to that bathroom, did you wash your hands?
Yep.
Before you open them chips, go wash your hands.
Exactly.
Go sit down. Now, come over here. Go do this. I'm taking that serious, right?
Yep.
If every single time you come to the shop, you got something to do and you leaving your kids like that, you're going to sour our relationship, because I'm going to feel like you're taking advantage of me.
Oh, most definitely.
Never want to do that.
With barbers, a barbershop, and not dating.
You never want to do that. Never want to do that. But like I said, ask that third question. If you don't even remember the first 2, remember that third question. Can me, my boys,
have a consultation
to the shop and have a consultation with you? You're going to have a lot of guys that's going to be like, nah, you ain't got to do all that. You can just come on to come. That's a barber that's looking to spin the check.
Yeah.
He's just looking for 2, 3 possible new clients.
But if he'd be like, yo, let's set up a time.
Once you get that barber that say, yeah, absolutely. What works best for you? What's a good day and time where you can come by and we can talk
for 30 minutes? Because that's all you need. Let's talk for 30 minutes. Let me
There's another little fishing lure you could throw out there if they say, okay, do you mind if I come on a Saturday?
Woo! Because that's going to let you know if he's too busy to talk to you.
He ain't going to be busy. He's going to be too busy to be able to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Plus, if he lets you come on a Saturday, typically the shop is his busiest on a Saturday. You going to get a look at the environment.
Yep.
That's real. 30 minutes is going to give you a great read, as if this, because you can find a right barber, but he can be in the wrong environment.
Woo! Preach.
So that's going to help you. That's going to help you. And if you in Murfreesboro, Studio 312, it's simple. You ain't got to do nothing. You done your research. What you waiting on? It's the question.
Come on.
But I hope that helped you out. This not gonna make up the way I'm
He said it makes sense, bro. Man, hey, I appreciate y'all once again for having me on, man.
We appreciate everybody, man. Y'all have
I was wondering when I was gonna get on. I was like, dang, I just want to get on. I got something to say. Hey, like, look, I got something to say.
Right.
I got a little something to say. But nah, man, I greatly appreciate y'all allowing me to get on, allowing the Tennessee Trade Show page to be exposed and promoted through this platform, bro. Man, anybody on here, keep following these guys every Wednesday at 7:30 Central Standard Time, as well as follow the Tennessee Trade Show, Tennessee Tuesdays, 8:30 Central Standard Time on Tuesday. I get on and I haven't had as many great conversations with some of these guys, but hey, I want more people to get on both these platforms because this is what's needed. Oh, somebody said I'm in Murfreesboro too. Well, hey, come on by and visit us.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who said that? What is it?
That's lovely Libra, 1013.
Why I can't see it? Well, if you in Murfreesboro and you ain't came by this shop,
Yeah. Hey,
we got smoke.
You ain't gotta get no haircut. Just come see us.
It's up and it's stuck. If you ain't come, because we do more than offer haircuts here, man. We offer fellowship. We break bread. We have conversations. If you having a down day, you come in the shop, and I can pretty much guarantee you that day gonna be improved in some way.
Yeah. Studio 312, like any barbershop should be, it's a safe place, man.
Yeah.
Safe place.
Definitely.
That's what shops should get back to.
What's up?
If you got a shop, man, and you don't present it as a safe place, hey, something wrong. I'm looking to move to the Murfreesboro area. Come on to Rutherford County.
Yeah.
I just followed you too.
Yeah.
That was the I'm from Nashville, huh? All the way from Nashville. Yeah, I saw you early in the conversation.
Savannah McCree, yeah.
Did I see Taylor May say? Did I see my sister in here?
Yeah. She talking about is it a bot waving or do y'all wave at everybody? Yeah, they wave at everybody.
Pressing the button, waving. Hey. See you over there.
Don't care. That is the realest barber. The real barber you ever came across in Tennessee. All right, then.
I appreciate that.
That is the truth. Yes. I just moved here. All right.
Just moved to Nashville. Y'all ain't finna keep. We finna go because the game's on.
Right.
Y'all come to the next one. If you're not following, follow everybody. But make sure you follow I Cut My Way Out podcast. Hit the post notification. You will be notified when we go live. If you have any questions, if you have more comments, if this conversation wasn't enough for you, hit the inbox. Let us know.
Hey, ours too, man. We got to go live again like we did that one day, bro. We just going to go live. You cutting your shop, we cutting our shop, man. Just go live, man. Hey, that was dope, man.
Let me know.
And a lot of people didn't expect it. You know what I'm saying? But it shows the unification in this industry, the alliances that you can build and the strength that you can put with the numbers and get the numbers behind you, man, and grow this thing. This stuff. Hey, well,
my boy,
no doubt.
what's going on, bro?
Okay.
That's bro.
Right.
And we don't go to Overlock.
Hey,
you don't go to Overlock.
They by Chattanooga. Hey, Rico 305. Yo, look, you want tickets to the show? Go holler at my man at Regal Barber Lounge in the downtown Chattanooga area. My man Chris Newby, Sir Newby. Go holler at him. Get your tickets. If you are not a barber, you just want to come to the show. General admissions tickets. If you catch shine in these streets, $25. You know what I'm saying? $25 to just come in and see what we got going on in this barber and beauty industry. But if you want to get involved in these classes, you find somebody else, you can do 2 for 1. It's 2 for $70. That's a $35 value per person to come and see some of the greatest. That's what's up. But hey, we'll keep talking all night. I'm gone. Yo, Dallas Cowboys. Hey, I see that. Hey, you see that shit? Ain't nobody putting up about no Chicago Bears on that. DC for life, baby. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think that stands for don't cut Four Locos or something like that. Don't consume Four Locos. Y'all have a good one.
Boy,
Hey,
boy,
peace
y'all
out.
crazy.